man. They're framed and fixed and rigged, and you know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in. It crawls its way under your skin. Just got out from the things they spout, and it will make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
The good news. The good news is we're here with Jones, and Giles buggered off to Vegas this week, but that doesn't mean that we're still not brought to you by an amazing, wonderful, incredible company this morning. It's supported in part by Community Home Inspections. Community Home Inspections. At Community Home Inspections, let me say that one more time. Community Home Inspections. It's our goal to enhance your home buying experience by providing you with impartial information so you can feel more confident about your buying decision. We give our customers the most personalized service possible. We are licensed and fully insured with over 20 years of experience. We always treat our customers the same way we would want to be treated, with respect and concern for your hard-earned money. Call us at 847-401-9501 or visit us online at communityhomeinspections.net. Mr. Jones, good morning.
Good morning. Of course, we'll be doing a solo flight, so please buckle up. Keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all time. Please remain seated until the ride does come to a complete and full stop. And remember, no flash photography through the entire piece of the show. Lisa, good morning. Come on in, man. Lisa, we got an extra seat for you. If you're right down the road, just swing on in. And Tony, always good to see you, my friend, as well. So a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff happened this week. Pete, have a good week.
Not at all.
Good.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
All right.
It was just long. It's been a long week.
Let me just check off chatter. Small banter at the beginning of the show.
Small banter.
Done.
Done.
Right. Yeah. There we go. You still can, Lisa. So here's the deal in the grounds today, I think, is, of course, you can always join the show by clicking the link. You become part of the show. It's a very interactive show. It's the only show on 216 The Net that we really open it up. There you can absolutely copy that link, drop it into your URL, follow the directions, and bing, bang, boom, you're on. Now, if you don't want, you can still be on, but you don't have to have your camera on.
You don't have to. It'd just be a black screen. Yeah. So if you don't want to show your morning face, some people don't like their morning face. We understand that. It's all right. I don't think any of you are ugly, but hey, morning faces aside.
So what I wanted to chat about a little bit today is just watching some of the headlines, man. Right, that's kind of our theme song. Are you tired of the same old shit? And one of the headlines read, now listen to this, folks. One of the headlines read, good morning, Tim. Always glad to see you, brother. Exclusive. This is an exclusive. So this is
no one else has it.
No one else has it. Exclusive.
Yeah.
FBI finds scant evidence U.S. Capitol attack was coordinated. Sources. Okay. Now,
first of all, it's scant.
Scant.
Which means maybe.
That means we got an email. Right. What does this mean?
Yeah.
Scant evidence. We received an email, an anonymous tip that this is. No, I'm good. That this we do have evidence now, which is good. So here's what I love about this entire thing, Pete, is though federal officials have arrested, now listen to this, though federal officials have arrested more than 570, now watch the next word, alleged participants. So,
yeah, I like that. Alleged.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Hey, Jeff. Good morning.
So that's like me picking up my phone and saying, hey, allegedly, Uncle Pete was at the and it's no longer an insurrection, mind you.
Oh yeah,
We've moved from insurrection to attack.
Grr, arg.
And why did we move to attack? Well, everything that's going on in the
It's
world.
a harder
right?
word.
It's a much, much better word.
Yeah.
The attack. I allegedly believe that Peter
Rawr.
Galt. Oh, I shouldn't say your last name. I allegedly say that.
Yeah. Now that you've already said it to 900,000
Right.
people.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
You could say Uncle Pete.
Yeah, Uncle Pete was allegedly there. You're going to get a knock on your door. And now they're going to have arrested 571 alleged.
Alleged. And they'll be like, where were you? Oh, yeah, wasn't out there.
Allegedly, you were there. Our facial recognition showed a man similar to you. Or a woman similar to you. So we're going to.
My apologies to the woman.
Yeah, come on. Hey, thanks. Come on in, Gary. So the very funny and interesting thing. Hey, good morning, Derek. Copy the link. Join us. Scott's in Vegas for a CBD convention. Enjoying life. He's probably out hiking too, knowing Scott.
I thought he was doing the pet thing.
I don't know what it's out there for.
I don't remember exactly now either.
Yeah. Great that the co-host and the producer don't listen to him. We know he's in Vegas.
Yeah, we know he's in Vegas. That was the important thing.
Whatever. He's out there on business, right?
So if he doesn't come back, we know where to start looking.
Yeah. So what I find interesting is just you and I, Pete, absolutely love words.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in today's world, people forget that words actually have meaning.
Or they forget the meanings of the actual words.
Yeah.
Either way, but yes, I agree.
Right. So, I mean, as you're, it's exclusive through, and I'm not going to say who it's exclusive through, but the FBI finds scant. Okay.
Scant means very little.
Very, very little.
Very like almost negligible. Scant is maybe one step above negligible.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And so, it just says that they've arrested the alleged participants. So there's no proof that they were there or partook in it. It's interesting to me. So, the FBI at this point believes the violence was not centrally coordinated by far-right groups.
Centrally or sensually? What did you just say?
Centrally.
Centrally.
Yes. Sensually.
I mean, it could have been
the
coordinated.
attack was sensual.
I mean, it could have been. We don't know.
Again, words.
Yeah.
It was not centrally coordinated by far-right groups or prominent supporters of then-President Donald Trump, according to the sources who have been either directly involved in or briefed regularly on the wide-ranging investigations.
So the big D had nothing to do with this.
You sit here and you go, huh. So there's a lot going on in the world, right? So we're going to use the word attack instead of insurrection because a lot of people who probably might come across this headline don't know what insurrection means. If that's fair.
That's fair. And a lot of those people who don't know what it means aren't going to take the time to look it up either. So.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we're going to just say the far right. We won't say just supporters. It's just the far right or prominent supporters of then president. So as you peruse through headlines or try to get caught up on the wherewithals of the world, we forget sometimes what these words mean. Yeah. And we have to start, you have to start listening and understanding and going, wait, what did you just say? What was that headline? What was that? And if you can't do that, then you just let it bleed in and this is just the way that it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we are very careful with what we say. I won't use the word mask or salad because we might get taken off of one of the social media platforms.
I'm glad you won't use those
Yeah.
two words, which might
Yeah.
get us taken off the platform, mask or salad.
Right.
Because Facebook hates those words.
They hate those words.
God forbid you have a mask salad.
A masked salad. Right. You just kind of have to understand. And it's kind of a mask, most deadly in modern day history. That's right.
Yeah.
Modern day history.
Yeah.
Yesterday? Today? A few minutes ago? What is that?
Well, we're almost 8 hours into the new day.
Right.
So could be today.
I mean, we are on this side of the world.
On this side of the world.
Yeah.
Gary's already had it.
Gary's already exercised his Friday. So
Lisa has many words.
Hate is a blind emotion. So if you can focus someone on hate, anger, or you can convince them of almost anything. But love is blind. So is love hate? Interesting.
That's it. Well,
sometimes.
Mary Catherine's been watching a lot of Springer lately.
Oh boy, yeah.
And so it's easy to see how love goes sideways really fast.
Yeah.
With many people who have a very low emotional IQ. It's entertaining as well.
It's brilliant.
But So what's this Derek is saying?
Yeah, most deadly shooting in quote New Chicago unquote history. So that means what?
That means all the other shootings were not nearly as deadly, although people perhaps died. Mm-hmm. Deadly is deadly, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't do almost dead.
But if love and anger are blind, how can you have love at first sight?
That's a good question.
I'm just laying that out there.
Yeah.
Love doesn't focus on harm and manipulation. It depends what role you're playing.
I suppose it does.
If you have
Good evening.
Hey, Gary, welcome in.
There's the man.
There's the man.
Right.
And the word for today is obfuscating.
Ooh, good word. I like that.
I don't know if I do.
10 points to Gary for obfuscating. That's great. So Lisa says,
use it in a sentence.
blind of the heart, not eyes.
Well,
to obfuscate is to make things intentionally unclear.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
if you are making things intentionally unclear, then you are obfuscating. That headline, the people who put that headline were obfuscating the story. Because like you said a little earlier, was that in the green room or on the show? Where that headline is pretty much telling everybody, hey, here's a thing that we really don't know much about.
That's right.
But instead of saying, here's a thing we don't know much about.
Exclusive.
It's exclusive that they don't know much about
it. Well, and a lot of people don't know what exclusive means either.
Yeah, that means only you.
Only you.
Only you. And only we have this thing as to which we are going to impart unto you.
Lisa should have just come in blind.
She really should have.
Blind of the heart, not the eyes.
Oh, that sounds like vag. What the hell is that? What's vag booking?
Vag booking, maybe.
What is that?
I don't.
Okay, that sounds.
I guess it depends if that G is a J or a G.
I'm very hesitant to Google that. Because I Googled a word from a song title on one of Mary Catherine's Power Hour playlists, and it hurt. It damaged me mentally.
Yeah, your eyes.
Yeah. Vague booking. Vague booking. So, there we go.
So it's not a vag. Okay.
That would be an entirely different sort of social platform.
Scott may be doing that out in Vegas. A little
bit. That's a totally different sort of activity for the weekend.
Yeah. Well, that's we can always keep you off camera too.
And we could.
Vag
you can
booking.
Just come in with
vag booking is a blend of vag and face booking. Vag booking is the practice of making a post on social media primarily our friends over at Facebook that is intentionally vague but highly personal and emotional, designed to elicit concerned responses from friends and family. It's not often looked down upon as desperate call for attention or need for validation.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, it's often looked down.
Often looked down
Yeah.
upon.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that's why we're not going to say the word mask or salads.
Salad.
Yeah, because Facebook doesn't like those coming from our station, the words mask or Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, not Facebook, but just salads.
So we're gonna toss masks and toss salads right out the window.
Which again might mean something totally different if you're tossing salads. So
I still don't know what that means. I
Yep.
know people use that reference a lot. I've not Googled that either.
Yeah. Well, you may not want to.
I'm not.
You may not want to, which is a blast. So, I think that headlines are so desperate, right? Media, written media is so desperate now here. Maybe, and it might be on the other side of the world too, but here in America for sure, that they're trying to grab your attention, and everything is in panic mode, right? As Delta doesn't even say, because we can't use certain words, as Delta rages across the United States.
Now, wouldn't that be funny if people only knew of Delta Rourke?
Right. So again, very careful on what they do, but they uses the words rages and all. Isn't Delta an airline?
That too.
I thought so. Maybe those airplanes are raging across America. It's just interesting to me as you kind of sit back and watch. Hey, what is being said exactly, and how do those words affect? Do you stop and read? Do you go, well, that doesn't make sense? Do you ever question that? How about over in Singapore? What are the headlines reading over there?
Well, I mean, we of course we still have COVID cases, but they become actually, frankly, we are really not interested in the number of positive cases on a daily basis. I mean, it's like 20, 30, 40,
Right.
which we are. So Singapore is now in a position to we are moving into the endemic lifestyle now. So we accept that there will be cases, as long as it doesn't go out of hand, and as long as the ICU, the intensive care unit usage is low. Well, we'll just take it that and anyway, we are already as of today, I think we have passed a 78% vaccination rate. We're expected to hit 85% by end of the month.
Yep.
And by end of next month, we are expected to hit 90%, 95%. That's it. We are going to move into the endemic way of life. We are opening up air corridors with Germany for traveling to Germany without any quarantine, or returning from Germany without any quarantine, as long as you are vaccinated.
Yeah.
So the headlines here are more reflective of what's going to move forward. We're no longer pressing the alarm buttons on headlines.
Yeah, you're not trying to use scare tactics or.
Yeah, not.
Yeah, you're just delivering it. So can I ask another question?
Sure.
I think a few weeks ago when we had you on, you still need to wear a mask over there.
We still need to mask wearing. Okay, so mask wearing will be the very last step in.
That will be eliminated.
Once mask, so we will exhaust all other avenues before we declare that we do not need to wear a mask. So until all avenues are exhausted, which is like vaccination, social distancing, and things like that, contact tracing, only until everything else has been exhausted or completed, then will mask be the last item to be checked off the list. Until that time happens, nope, the mask stays on there. That's it. We have a very interesting case now. You probably might have seen it. I'm not sure if it's reported in the papers in the US. So we have a British citizen who has been sentenced to 6 weeks jail for not refusing to wear a mask. He was filmed on our train systems for refusing to wear a mask. And of course, when the police went to his house that night, he actually threatened to punch the cops and everything like that. So he was arrested. And of course, over the last two weeks when he appeared in court for trial, he proclaimed that he's a sovereign citizen and things like that. So as far as we are concerned, no, that word sovereign citizen doesn't exist here. You are here in Singapore, so we have our own laws. So of course, he goes on a crazy rant, but we just can't be bothered. We sentenced him to 6 weeks jail. But of course, it's backdated to the day he was remanded. He was actually remanded last month, and he was sent to a psychiatric hospital for 2 weeks for evaluation to make sure that he's fit to stand for trial. So he has he has served his 6 weeks, and he's now in the custody of our immigration authority. He's ready to be deported back to England permanently.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we don't really care, actually.
The old saying is, when in Rome,
Yeah. So, I mean, for us, we don't really care what rights he has. He says it's a God-given right to breathe without mask. He's a sovereign citizen. He understands all sorts of laws, and there's no crime that has been committed.
Yeah.
So to us, it's like, nah. You know what? We don't really care.
If we could use the word face covering instead of mask, I don't want Facebook again. They don't like the word mask, and they'll tell us that we have we have false medical information on the show. So we'll go with Singaporean face covers for now.
Well, this is on this side of the world. On this side of the world, that word is very common, the M word. So
yeah, the M word, right? We can't say that.
Oh no, don't say the M word.
M word. That's right.
No more Marvins allowed.
Yeah, that's correct. And that's the fun part of really what we get to do here on the grounds is talk about anything here. 21.6 and of course. We've got Gary joining us all the way from Singapore. And how did your Friday go? Was it a good Friday?
Yeah, it was a hell of a rainy day today. There was a slight flooding in certain areas, but it rained cats and dogs and mooses and cows and bulls, whatever you have.
We went from dogs to one of the largest animals out there.
Yeah, and maybe even buffaloes or bisons or something like that. But it was raining cats and dogs for the first half of the day. So thankfully, it was this tremendous tropical thunderstorm.
Yeah.
But of course, everything's done already, and the weather today has been cool. I think we're experiencing about 21 degrees Celsius. That's about like maybe 60 degrees.
Yeah, 62.
Yeah, which to us is very cool, but to you guys it's probably still it's kind of there.
Depends what part of the country. If you're down south, Arizona, 60 is freezing.
Okay.
Up here in northern Illinois, we're still
pretty
running around with our shirts off.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we are used to. I mean, the temperature over here is the average of 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So anything that goes below 80 is a cause for celebration.
That's right. Everybody's outside. Like, can you believe how cold it is? It's wonderful. Which is great. So as we talk about words, Pete, and Gary, what's one of the words that is most misused in vocabulary?
Well, the things I see most misused are they, their, and
okay.
They are, which is they are there, and there as in the possessive, as those people over there in the location there. I hate that. That drives me up a freaking wall.
Yeah.
That, and then the difference between than and then.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people do not understand that than, THAN, is as opposed to.
Like rather.
And exactly. And then, THEN, is a time reference.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Those drive me nuts.
Here's an interesting thing for everybody out there listening. All the people, this riveting show, as we talk about words. What I'd like you to do this weekend is I would like you to write this sentence. I would like you to write this sentence and go ahead and send it in. There are 3 ways to write the word to. There are 3 ways to write the word to.
Right.
No, that's wrong, Peter. There's only one way to write that to. So as we talk about words, you can't write this sentence, but we can speak it, right? There are 3 ways to write the word to, but you can't write it out. You're doing it separately, but you can't. It's you've given me 3 sentences. I said it in 1.
Well, I'm giving people examples.
Right? You can't. It's impossible.
No, there are 3 ways to write the word to, and you can write the word to 3 ways, but you cannot write that sentence correctly.
That's
You're
correct.
exactly right.
That's correct. Right? Yeah. You can use that
It's
one.
grammatically incorrect every single time.
Every time.
So,
time. So words again are a little bit more powerful than you would probably think. Here's another one. Irregardless.
Oh, okay. That is a word that is very talked about here in Singapore.
Oh,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's a commonly misunderstood. There is actually such a word, but it is defined as a non-standard word, and actually it's exactly the same as the word regardless. Actually,
well, it is always without regard.
yeah.
Right.
There's another. So this word is kind of a hot. Well, not say a hot topic, but it's always discussed here in Singapore because it's used in a lot. It's used very commonly in emails and communications. Here in locally.
Yeah.
In the emails, and it always comes out. People always start the word irregardless, and things like that. And the other word that's associated, the other word that comes along with it as a pair is actually the word revert. People like to use that in email. Please revert back to me, regarding this issue. And
they want to use revert instead of get back to me or return.
Yeah, but which is actually the word revert is not to be used in this manner. Revert actually is about a situation going back to its original situation. So you don't use that in an email and say, please revert back to me on this issue. You're not asking a person to revert back to his original situation.
Right.
No.
Right. Revert as opposed to respond.
Yeah. So actually, these are the two hot button words that's always discussed here locally in any English language context because it has been so misused over the years due to email communication.
Yeah.
Here's another one that bugs me to no end is people will use commiserate where they mean commensurate.
Yeah.
I hate that. Yes, please commiserate with me about the use of the word, improper use of the word commiserate. Let's all just take a moment of angry silence over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only time I see this is used is in the UK. UK Has Talent, or the X Factor UK, where it seems to be a very common word used by the host whenever a contestant is knocked out of the stage, and commiserations to the contestant. So, but that's about the only time I see it being used.
Really?
On the air, basically.
We see that a lot we see a lot of people try to use. I'm gonna, doesn't matter. A lot of people try to use relatively large words, and like in letter length, long words. In letter length over here, especially in professional roles such as legal roles, human resource roles. Oh my gosh, I can tell you in fact, on one resume, Cody and I both love this so much. We kept the resume for quite a while because under one of the talents, it said that they happen to be amphibious with the ability to use both hands.
I guess they mean ambidextrous instead of amphibious.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
We hung on to that one for a while.
Right.
I mean, if your job requires them to breathe underwater, it might help a lot.
It might help. I mean, yeah.
I'm an underwater welder, so being
Yeah, and maybe they might lose their tail and grow feet as they come out of the water or something like that, just like a tadpole.
And I tell you, underwater welders, with even absent the amphibian ability, make more money than attorneys over here on an hourly
Well, maybe they do have a reason for the amphibians. Maybe they have wet between their fingers.
They could. So, but I enjoyed that one. I really did. So,
there's just, there's a ton of words out there, right? How about supposedly?
Oh, okay.
You're gonna make me cringe every time you say these things. I am such a word Nazi.
I know. Well, but this is the whole thing, right? What do people say? Supposedly.
Yes, supposed, not supposed. But there's no B in there.
Right. Suppose.
Well, I mean, it's better than them trying to type out the word suppository when they meant
suppository. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a look, and that's what I mean is, I'm just going to talk about this for a minute. Is the way people speak and the way we've allowed language to be warped and words to be warped, right? Listen, however you want to speak is it your prerogative? or is it prerogative? Right?
Yes, no, correct.
Right.
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
PER, it's PRE.
No,
it's prerogative, right?
Yes.
But we say prerogative. So,
and a lot of people say pro.
Yeah, which is wrong. Yeah.
Not a professional ogative.
Right. It is not. Yeah. Not. Here's one that I don't know if you guys know this. You may know this. It's a color that is mispronounced all of the time.
Really?
And it's spelled MAUVE.
Mauve?
Yes, that is incorrect.
Is it?
It's mauve.
Is it really mauve?
Yes.
Wasn't that the name of a comedy show that stars a B? Was it B. Arthur?
Well, that's Maud.
That's Maud.
Yeah, Maud. Yeah.
B. Arthur.
B. Arthur.
Mauve.
Mauve.
That's it. Yeah. So MAUVE should really be pronounced actually MOAV. So it's mauve, such as rhymes with grove, but everybody calls it mauve.
I did not know that. So, well, looky.
Hey, all the way from he's from the Grapevine.
The place in Texas.
Grapevine.
Actually, I'm greeting you from Colorado Springs this morning.
Hey, I've been there, Pikes Peak.
I am just in the spirit of the day. I'm at a 2-day seminar getting edumacated.
Well, supposedly.
Awesome.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Supposedly getting edumacated.
Yeah. Here's one. Triathlon. People always say triathlon.
Triathlon.
There's not an extra A in there.
No, it's not triathlon. It's triathlon. Hey, so Don, if you're just chiming in here,
I've been listening while I've been getting ready this morning.
Sorry. Anyway,
you didn't want to see that. You didn't want to see that.
So we're talking about words and how just some of the headlines have kind of caught my attention. They were exclusive and scant and things like that. And then we just kind of have rolled it into some words that are always misused or mispronounced for sure.
Yeah, you may be glad I'm not flying Delta Airlines back to Dallas tonight.
Right. That's right, because it's raging.
They're raging, so I don't want to go there. Yeah.
They are raging. You know what? I got to give a little shout out to Zeller Pump Company for the nice hat. Zeller Pump. You can find out more about Zeller Pump by tuning into the Dream Home Experts tonight. But just wanted to give them a shout out because it's a nice hat.
It does look like a nice hat from here.
What about a word for which means tricky or deception? It's its pronunciation is obviously tricky, and we'll talk about chicanery.
Oh, chicanery, yes.
Chicanery.
Cannery.
I've always said chicanery.
I would say it's chicanery.
Yeah, it is. It is chicanery. Yeah.
I guess it is. I guess it comes from the root word chicane.
Yep.
Which is like a so it's twist and turn. It's tricky and it's twist and turn.
Yeah.
Now, is that on par with shenanigans and skylarkings? or no?
I think a shenanigan is more of a well, not a word, not prank. It's kind of like a hijinks maybe.
Hijinks, shenanigans are more like hijinks, more like ill behavior.
Yeah, the kind of shenanigans that you get up to.
Ill behavior, but in the spirit of frivolity, perhaps.
Yeah, I guess it's not a malicious thing. Yeah, I think shenanigans is not a malicious thing.
Yeah. Of course, Don, we've not yet used the one word you called me out on.
I know. I have to admit, I was just thinking about it. That's why I had a little smirk on my face.
I love that story so much. It's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite life stories. It truly is. You gave me such a wonderful moment.
Go ahead and share it.
So, when I spent 20 years using the word paratagem, and I actually used that while speaking to large audiences, and used that word quite for 20 years. And people say, what is that? And I would say, well, it's a synonym for paradigm. Because in my brain, for some reason, paradigm had a Y in it, which it does not. So I said that one day, and Don looked at me with a puzzled look, and he said, "Can you spell that for? I don't think I've heard that before. Can you spell that for me?" And I promptly spelled paradigm, and he started laughing. He is the only person who ever called me out in 20 years on the fact that I was grossly mispronouncing paradigm while spelling it paradigm and saying paratagem and incorrectly telling people with full authority, I might add, full authority, straight face, because I believed it to the core of my soul, that paratagem.
Yeah, and Pete, you've told that story many times, and it is hilarious. But I tell you that the untold part of that story that is actually kind of aggravates me is how many people had the opportunity to help you not continue to say it wrong and never said a word.
Never said a word. Let me go on with that, and people accepted it. Like, oh well, okay, you must know.
If Pete says so,
if Pete says so, it must be. Especially when you say it with flat authority. I know this thing.
A tale of missed opportunities.
Yeah, Don's the only one that ever set me straight, and I appreciate that, and it made me laugh so hard. And the other thing too that stuck with me about that is a fellow there that was there, because this was at a large group, networking thing.
Mm-hmm.
One fellow said, "Man, aren't you really freaking embarrassed?" I said, "Hell no, this is an awesome story. This is fantastic. I'm not, but I don't have that embarrassment gene. I just don't have it." But no, I thought it was absolutely wonderful. And Don, I thank you for that so much. You have no idea.
I thank you for the moment. That's a good laugh every time I hear it. So I thank you.
No, it's wonderful. I think we both gave each other a little moment of joy. So thank you very much.
No doubt.
Go out and stack spaghetti cans or whatever, or just
spaghetti cans, crock pots, and
whatever it is. So the most mispronounced word in the world is spelled GIF.
I'm curious. How should it be pronounced? Because I know what I say.
What do you say?
I say GIF.
I say GIF.
I go with the hard G.
Oh, here in Singapore, in Asia, actually, it's mainly pronounced as GIF with a J instead of a G.
That's peanut butter here.
Yeah, the actual inventor of the GIF says it's pronounced GIF.
Oh,
really?
GIF. Yeah.
See, that's curious because it stands for what is it? A
graphic interchange format. Graphic interchangeable format.
And the word graphic starts with the hard G.
With a hard G.
Yeah. Where else is the word G pronounced with a J? It maybe is. I'm just wondering. Is it any place else you can think of? Oh,
ginger.
That's a good point. Yeah. Well, it's used both ways there.
Yeah.
No, it's ginger both ways. It's J both ways.
Ginger. Yeah, it's a G with a J both ways.
Huh.
But here in Asia, if you come to Asia, the word GIF is pronounced GIF or everywhere, be it on personal communication, on recordings, whatever. It's just for some reason the word GIF has been used in all Asian countries as the way to pronounce that particular abbreviation.
There's probably some jokes in there that I could say.
It's I mean we do, of course. So here in Asia, I guess with the exception of the Philippines, which was colonized by the US, the rest of Asia, mostly were colonized by the Europeans.
Yeah.
So the British, the Dutch, so basically
Those Dutch.
yeah, most of us actually here in Singapore, especially our English is of course straight from the British, and it's in the received pronunciation sort of structure of English learning in schools and things like that. So we do know that sometimes the words that we pronounce here, which is more of the British style, is actually very different from the way that you in the US would pronounce. Like we see America's Got Talent, and the word SEMI, we pronounce it as semifinals, but in the US you all pronounce it as semi instead of semi.
Yeah, you go up to Canada, and that's what they call semi.
Yeah, because that's actually the British received pronunciation. It's actually semi according to the British.
Trailer, yeah.
They also say organization.
Yeah.
And
It's like that sounds like a draw in the center of the word.
Organization. Yeah, the dictionary says it is GIF, sometimes GIF. Is what it says on dictionary.com. So,
apparently, sometimes only when I say it, I guess.
Exactly. Well, me too. I've always said GIF too, Pete.
So. Remember when you used to go to the dictionary and get a solid definition? Now they're like,
a solid answer, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're not really sure now here at dictionary.com, so
here it is. We don't want to upset.
We're kind of hedging our bets on how it's done.
Yeah. That's why I like my old dictionaries. I prefer the old ones because they're just like, this is the word. It's what it means. Damn it.
Right.
Oh yeah, I have two big dictionaries. One is Oxford, and the other one is of course Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Well, we've got that 1895 dictionary.
Yeah.
Here in studio.
Yeah.
Which actually does have the word unfriend in it.
It does.
So we thought that was a Facebook thing, and it was a new word. No, it's not.
No.
It's unfriend.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So
well, if you got some reading time, look up the word dictionary in dictionary.com. It's quite entertaining.
Could be. Please see the
dictionary. Define thyself.
it's about a 4-line definition.
What's it say?
All right, you're going to make me read it, huh?
Oh yeah, why not?
A book, obstacle disc, mobile device, or online lexical resource such as dictionary.com containing a selection of words of a language, giving information about their meanings, pronunciations, etymologies, inflected forms, derived forms, etc., expressed in either the same or another language, lexicon, glossary.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Yeah, there it is.
Now, Tim Santos has many words.
Yes.
And he's written a lot of them here.
That's it.
He's giving us some more, huh?
Yeah, one of the most commonly misused and oddly misunderstood, but always pronounced correctly words these days is free. Almost always used in a form of bait and switch or other marketing technique, and almost always never anything actually being free.
That's right.
Now,
it's like freedom.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, the word free. The word free is of course a very big oxymoron when you use it. The word free gift. The gift is supposed to be free, unless you're meant to say that you have to pay for the gift. Then, in which case, it's not a gift.
Now, do you like to play with inflection?
I'm more into the British form of double entendre.
Double entendre. Double entendre is fun, but here's a sentence, and you guys might have seen this, by now. But this sentence means something different every time you put more inflection or heavier emphasis on a single word. And I'll type this here, and
while he's typing, we'll just talk because it's riveting radio to hear the. Here's the word.
If you, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll put this up in a second here, but go ahead with your thought.
Well, the other one, which is grossly mispronounced, is CELTIC. CELTIC.
Oh, okay. Celtic. That's Celtic.
Yeah, it is Celtic, but everybody says Celtic.
Oh.
These are the Boston Celtics, yeah.
The Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the same ring.
Now, here's a sentence I absolutely, truly enjoy, and you may have seen this before, but if you put emphasis or inflection on a different word, it changes the meaning of the sentence and sounds completely different. So if you say, I did not say we should murder him, or say, I did not say we should murder him, or I did not say we should murder him, or I did not say we should murder him, or I did not say we should murder him, or I did not say we should murder him, I did not say we should murder him, I did not say we should murder him. I love that sentence. It's just so much fun.
Or you could just put a pause in there too, Pete. I did not say we should murder him.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can actually put you could put in a little ellipses in there.
I did not say this was going to be a great show.
As you shouldn't.
See, here's the thing. You can change the last two words and do with anything, with any article and any pronoun, and it'll have the same effect. I just enjoyed the murdering part. So,
Yeah, well, I enjoy the murdering part. Again, allegedly, Pete.
So far as I know, I have never killed a person.
That's right.
Good man.
Yes.
Stepped
So
over
far
it.
as he knows.
Refused to clean one up in my kitchen.
So going back to what Tim says there with
the free
with the word free.
Yeah.
I mean that all depends. That all depends hugely on your definition of free. I mean,
in the context in which you are using it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
might be free to you at that moment.
Yeah. I got this free bag of weed. I'm in prison now.
You're not free anymore.
I ain't free no more.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that's, and is free shipping really free?
Right. No, it's built in.
I've been told by Amazon that my order coming Tuesday is inclusive of free shipping. Inclusive.
Right.
Yeah.
So
free.
Yeah. I went out to eat and they gave me a free dessert. My hamburger, which usually costs 45 cents to make, cost me $25, but I got a free dessert.
We got free dessert though.
Yeah.
So it's true, and it's oddly misunderstood, but always pronounced correctly. Is free. What is free? Nothing's free anymore.
Yeah. Or I like it when people say, "Hey, are you free?"
Yeah.
In what way?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's just, to me, I find it, and especially owning a radio station and listening to a lot of the shows on 216 The Net is, like I said, someone didn't like the word mask from Bridging Civil Tension last week.
Yeah.
And so
it actually got us a suspension and a strike on YouTube, as a matter of fact. And I had to appeal
because we were giving false medical information.
Yeah. I had to appeal.
We didn't talk anything about medical.
False or disagreed upon.
Yeah.
There's another.
There wasn't any medical.
There wasn't any. That was
the word, huh?
Yeah.
There wasn't any.
Yeah, they did actually. They read my appeal and they did reverse it, so they restored the video.
So you mean that as far as YouTube is concerned, wearing a face covering is not encouraged or legal in that sense? For them to take a strike on it?
No, in that they said this does not fall in line with the WHO, and at first when I read that, I read the WHO. And I thought,
okay, as in
the band? Yeah, the band.
As in the band.
But they just wrote WHO in all caps. They wrote the WHO, and I'm like, okay, that's a band. They did not do W.H.O. So it took me a minute to figure that out.
Yeah, you were wondering where was Pete down. You were wondering how was it related to Pete Townsend himself?
Yeah. Pete Townsend didn't like you using the word mask.
Yeah, apparently. So,
right.
But we got it all squared away and straightened out. But yeah, they decided, initially to just shut that down.
Well, I
Wow,
guess that,
okay.
that reminds me of the scene in Meet the Fockers. You know, don't say the word bomb on an airplane. So I guess don't say the word mask on the ground. So
Yeah, or
or on civil tension. Yeah,
it's out there on
bridging. So,
Facebook. Yeah, absolutely.
Or salad.
Or
But
salad.
you are very welcome to use that word on this part of the pond. It's no problem.
That's
well, it
right.
gets used a lot around here too. It's just,
Now I'm wondering here. Do you suppose? Gary, I don't know if you have these over there, or if it's much of a holiday over there. We have Halloween coming up,
mm.
and we have a lot of Halloweens that are like pop up stores. They're only here for a few months and then they go
Right.
away. Do you suppose we'll have mask selections in Halloween stores that are congruent with the type of, you know,
Situation.
yeah, yes, that are congruent with the situation over here?
Well,
I've
I
been
mean, unless you're dressing up as a doctor or a surgeon.
So I'm just thinking there's so much you could do. I'm so tempted. In fact, I was at Hobby Lobby, a large hobby store here in the U.S. I don't know if they have them over there. But I was at, and they had these little masks, like face masks, like a whole face that
All
you
right.
and you decorate and you do whatever you want. I was very tempted to buy a couple and just cut them in half, and then
Put a mask. Wear a mask below.
yeah, and maybe put a little material in there where the nose and the mouth part is, and bedazzle the holy living crap out of those things. To me, I would be entertaining myself to no end. So I don't know. I'm just curious about whether or not we'll see.
Halloween is more of a. I mean, we do not, of course, we do not have Halloween here. We have our own Chinese version, which is actually this month, but we call it the Hungry Ghost Festival. But Halloween is. I mean, we have Toys R Us here. I know they no longer really exist in the US, but
Yeah, they
Toys R Us Asia is a separate company from Toys R Us in the US. It was sold to a Hong Kong company.
Oh,
So it is still operating here in Singapore. We have I think we have 4 branches. So during Halloween, we have a lot of Halloween things in the store. You know, your pumpkins, your witch's hat, your costumes, and the other. So yeah, but it's not so much of an Asian sort of festival or celebration. But yeah, kids do get into the spirit of the things.
so
Pun
what is the
intended.
Hungry Ghost? What is the Hungry Ghost?
Okay, so in the it's a traditional Chinese custom. So on the 7th lunar month of the Chinese calendar, the gates of hell are open,
Oh, that's nice.
I think
and they come out for for a few weeks of fun and relaxation in the mortal world before they go back down again, and then the gates are closed.
no, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray show up.
That's
Take care of them.
So basically the running joke this year is that we still have quarantine. If you're coming to Singapore from the US, you need to go through a 14-day quarantine before you are let loose into the wild here. So the running joke here is that by the time they come out, they have to serve 14 days, and then before they go back in, they also have to serve another 14 days. So they probably won't have much time to roam the mortal earth.
That's
And of course, as part of the thing, as part of the Chinese custom, during this period, if you are not Singaporean, you probably might not be accustomed to seeing it, but sometimes along the roadside, you see burning of joss papers, joss sticks, and then at the same time, you may see plates of food left on the roadside, like a plate of fruits or a plate of meat or a plate of or a bowl of rice, things like that. So so we call it the Hungry Ghost Festival because the food is left there on the road or on wherever you see it. It's on path or pavement or whatever. It's for them to enjoy basically.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's nice. We'd
Kind of like leaving cookies for Santa Claus. Huh?
welcome to
Yeah.
Singapore. We'd like to welcome everybody from hell for the next few weeks.
So I guess it's an extended version of. I guess it's an extended version of Day of the Dead.
They can come here for their daily dose of encouragement.
Hey,
Dave.
right.
There you go.
21.6
That's
today.
right.
That's it.
We don't turn anybody away, alive or dead.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we've been in those gates for the last hour. Of course.
We're just hovering around the gates at the entrance there. Have not really
Just right
stepped
around
over
the
there.
entrance. Yeah.
Of course, we're especially happy.
Oh God,
Especially.
to have everybody tuned in with us.
I hate that too. I cannot. And we actually have a wonderful host of a particularly, fairly popular show that says "especially" all the time.
Especially.
Yeah,
I,
but
is that with an
that's
X
okay.
or a CK?
I let it go.
Is that especially with a CK or an X?
I don't know, but it's wrong either way.
Yeah.
So
It's wrong either way, huh?
And this happens in America probably more than it does abroad. But I also love the first president of the United States, George Washington.
Washington.
Washington?
WAR.
yeah,
SH Washington.
That's definitely a regional thing.
Going over there to Washington D.C.
yeah,
Got to go to my Warsh.
yeah,
How could you spell
I'm
that?
going to Warsh U for college.
That's right.
yeah.
Could you spell that for me? Help me.
Yeah.
Is there, someone put an R in there we didn't know about, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Washington.
I guess it's silent. The R is silent. Depends what side of the country you come from.
Yeah,
It's silent or not, which is fantastic. So,
yeah. Or Earl, that drives me up a wall.
Earl.
Yeah, when someone says, "Hey, you need some Earl in your car?
Oh,
Oi!
You need me to change your
What are
Earl?
we talking about?
that's some Earl. I get some.
Get some Earl from
Oh.
Merle."
I say Get some Earl. That's some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Earl.
Get some Earl.
Here, let me rub your back with a little Earl. No, I'd rather you use a large Earl if there's one available.
That's right.
But
Where's the Earl tanker?
That's it. That Earl.
yeah,
But I just say oil.
Give me some more.
Oil.
Changed.
Oil. We'll pronounce it as oil over here.
Yeah.
It's a 2-syllable word, oil.
Yeah.
Because we don't, because I think in US you call it petrol, but the word petrol is not really used much here.
No, we don't
Oil.
use petrol. We use gas.
Yeah,
Gas?
use the word
Oh, okay.
yeah.
No, we have gas. We don't
Gas
have,
or gasoline, not petrol or petroleum. We do have petroleum products.
Yeah. True.
Jelly, rubber jelly.
It's what- I think it would sound bad if we have gas products. That's probably
Yeah, let her rip.
Bush beans.
That's
More
right.
gas products brought to you by Bush Beans. So I do like Bush Beans though.
yeah, they're good.
I like the bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon
Yeah.
baked beans.
Do you consider yourself the winner if you get the piece of bacon from the Bush's bacon?
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. My kids always try to stay away. I'm like, what? You're kidding. You're the winner if you get a piece of bacon.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's bacon.
And
They're
that's-
getting the toy in the box of Cracker Jacks, right?
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or the cereal. They
Do
don't
they
have
still
it.
put toys
I
in
don't know.
cereal
I don't
anymore?
see
I
toys.
haven't.
No,
Well, no, they have. I
so.
mean, we
Really?
get Kellogg's cereal over here. Yeah, they still have sometimes some toys or some
think we
little
do.
premiums.
It's
Yeah.
a
I bet it's a choking hazard, so they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, we
Oh, okay, yeah, that explains it. That explains why. Now that reminds me, that explains why in the US you can't find that the Kinder Surprise chocolate egg with the toy inside there.
Correct. Yeah.
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 It was so
Yeah.
surprising to us when I first. I mean, I did
sometimes
have I have quite a fair bit of toys of this, and it was like surprising to find that in the US it was illegal to have Kinder Surprise for sale because of the potential for choking
probably.
hazard.
Well, I guess, Gary, that tells you a lot about the eating
Stupidity.
skill and ability of those here in the U.S.
Well, it reminds me of it again. We're just we can't even have a toy in our food because we might choke on it. I read something recently that just kind of thought. It says we think we're smarter than we used to be. In the 1960s, a car's owner's manual told you how to replace the catalytic converter. Now, today, it tells you not to drink the battery acid.
Right.
How far we've come, huh?
Don't, just so you know, in case it looks really tasty to you, and you think, "My, it's a hot day." You know what will go down really well? A bit of
Some
battery.
battery acid.
Battery fluid here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe that's maybe over-regulated.
No, that probably means somebody did it.
Somebody did.
But back in the days, we call it natural selection.
That's it.
Well, see, and that's what everybody's trying to prevent over here.
Yeah.
Natural selection bad. freaking morons good.
Well, natural selection actually sort of cleanses the gene pool overall.
We're a mischievous bunch here,
Yes, we are.
and that is pronounced incorrectly all the time.
It's up to their shenanigans then.
It's
Mischievous? Mischievous?
Mischievous,
We say
yes.
Mischievous.
It's
Listen,
mischievous, and
we're sitting on the backside of this
We
show
are.
right now. Absolutely, thanks guys for coming in. Words do mean something, and they do have meaning. So you should more than likely take time to understand the word jar. Now, listen. We're going to be doing a best of Bridging Civil Tension this morning, so you can catch the replay there.
That'll
Otherwise,
be short, huh?
yeah.
You sure you want to have last week's
I'm
episode
sorry,
on
Dave,
it?
that was me.
and you so listen, Phil couldn't make it in today, so the last thing you want is another hour of just me talking to the camera.
Thank you, Deke. Thank you.
It might create more tension actually.
But come back at noon. Come back at noon for an episode of the Dream Home Experts. Then come back at 1:00 for the Neighborhood Pulse with Kevin Callback, and then swing back in at about 3:30 Central Time for Anything Goes with Steph and Joe, a new show. Kind of
In the know.
in the know. What did I say? Anything?
Yeah,
Knows?
that's a different show. In the know.
He
Ay, ay, ay.
mispronounced it, Pete. He mispronounced it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You have a nice hat, though.
It is a nice hat from Zeller Pump. Thanks, guys, at Zeller Pump. Appreciate that. Everybody, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Come back tomorrow as well for Metaphysical Meanderings, and then Sunday, of course, we've got Lisa's Changing Perceptions, followed up by the Power Hour of Fellowship of Faith.
There you go.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Bulletin, that bullshit's transmitting. It's shoved right down your throat. Another fucking made up quote. So buckle down, plug right in. It crawls its way under your skin. Just got